Hello everybody and welcome back to Pravus Gaming and more Hearts of Iron 4 Man the Guns! Playing as proper Great Britain, led by Edward VIII. Alright, so we are prepping for a war against India to reclaim the jewel in our crown. That will give me a lot of extra resources and factories that I will be able to use. I'm probably not going to re-puppet these guys, I'll just take them directly under my control. Enjoy all those extra factories. There is going to be a national focus eventually, which gives me a lot more manpower in non-cored regions, so it will help make up for some of that. But yeah, for right now, there's not a lot else I can do. So, I've been trying to do a lot of research into naval compositions and how best to work with all of those, and I will say it is, at best, very complicated. I'm going to try to grab all my fleets and bring them together. Yeah, the naval composition is not abundantly obvious to me. I would say that I could spend a lot of time paused in this series just trying to figure out my navies. Like, half the game could be just focused on that, and I would probably benefit from it. I'm not sure how entertaining it would be to watch, but I could do that. I've been experimenting primarily with rebuilding my ship designs here, or reworking those a little bit. So I think that the best way to do things is to specialize your ships. Namely, anti-sub destroyers, so they go around patrolling, detecting enemy subs, so they can't do convoy raiding and bleed me dry, and as the UK, that's especially important. Torpedo subs, which are good for sinking capital ships, but also really good for convoy raiding, which if I was playing as Germany, I absolutely would do just to bleed the UK dry, so I can win easily. Very effective, and it looks like if you build these properly and get some good passive bonuses through the right leaders and so on, you can have almost undetectable subs. Like, they're just going to attack things with impunity. Rather scary. I've gone for as much deck space in my carriers as possible, a little bit of extra armor, but I think naval bombers might be extremely strong in this particular patch. So we may want to focus on a carrier-based naval composition, and anti-air light cruisers just to kind of peel and make sure I have that air dominance so I can sink ships. Because if you have the air dominance, it looks like you can really wreck enemy capital ships using my naval bombers. So this might be good. In fact, it might be best to have like 4 carriers, let's say 12 anti-air light cruisers, and like 24 plus destroyers. Some of them dedicated for anti-sub, and some of them dedicated for just screening with light guns. That might be the best naval composition. Heavy ships are certainly very strong, very good with the heavy guns to take out enemy capital ships, but they also consume an absolute ton of fuel. If we have a lot of fuel production, maybe it is good mixing these guys in. I'm really not sure. So basically, after all of my research, I still am no wiser. I just have a few ideas that I want to experiment with, and we'll see if it works or not. We're going to go ahead and start transporting some planes, I think, down to Sri Lanka, because I do want to go for some level of naval or air superiority. Bringing these guys down over here. Let's bring you guys down over here. Keep in mind, of course, that you can train or do exercises with your air forces now, and that does give you extra air experience, which is certainly nice. Also costs a lot of fuel to do that. Let's see, these are bombers, fighters, more close air supports. I'm going to send some of you guys down here as well. I think landing the naval invasion is going to be very difficult down here in India. I have one port here in Madras. Is there someplace that'd be better to do a naval invasion? Maybe up here, depending? Maybe it'd be better to do a naval invasion all the way up this way. I'm not sure. Kind of depends on how they end up deploying their troops. We'll see. Okay, anyway, moving on with the game. I don't want to spend an absolute ton of time on naval composition and naval orders. Like, that is important. But I also want to play the main game, you know what I mean? Let's go for some extra military factories, because I think I could really benefit from that. We want to start ramping up some of that production. We could also go for extra fuel silos. That wouldn't be a bad idea. I also think at some point we want to start building out a naval base in whatever this place is. Labrador, there we go. We'll go ahead and make that a low priority thing to build, because I know eventually we're going to want to fight Canada, and having a lot of supplies will certainly end up being important for me. One thing that's really cool, by the way, the Strategic Navy map mode does show you a lot of the supply routes. So you can see, for example, we're transporting our oil out of Abu Dhabi, and that's being shipped all the way this way. And that gives you a good idea where you need to protect your convoys. And as somebody fighting, let's say, France, it would tell me exactly where I want to be deploying my subs to inflict the most possible damage. Like, the naval game really is far more complicated, and I would say that's a good thing, because previously the game was a little bit boring. The naval game was kind of lame. But It's also become very difficult for accessibility at this point. All right, do we want to land up here? Yes, I want to try going for a couple of stacks that away. Land this way. Let's see if we can get a good wide spread, get a surround, and then try to take the naval port. Let's see if that works. I have no idea if it does or not. I don't remember how to unassign these guys from a order. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and move you here for a second, because I don't want to have my cavalry doing the landing. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. We'll instead have our tank division assigned to this.
Ready to move.
And then we'll move you guys back over here. There we go. I don't know. The tank isn't exactly 20 combat width, but I have to think that that's going to be a little bit better. It does warn you, by the way, which ones consume fuel and which don't. Improved airplane catapult. Okay. I don't remember if this is a passive thing or... No, it's a new module we could install. So what this does, if you imply it on your cruisers, is you can launch small scout ships and just gives you better detection. Surface detection, sub-detection. Sub-detection is very important, by the way. So it's good. Not sure if I'm worried about it right now. Do you want to go for the active sonar? Do I want to focus on something else? Radar's more important than before because not only do you get better radar stations, but you do get a radar module for your ships. Very good for detection. Could go for doctrines. We already have the naval bombers. We could go for a carrier variant of our new fighters. The doctrines are probably more important than before. Used to be that I focused exclusively on battleships and fleet and being. Now, if I did want to go for a carrier and screening ship composition, base strike would probably be the best. Trade interdiction is really good for Germany. Focuses a lot on subs. Starve them. Fleet and being, I don't know. Destroyer sub detection's nice. Organization, yeah. Better subs, torpedo reveal chance reduction. The torpedo system is complicated now, too. I mean, I say everything's complicated because it is. So when your ships launch torpedoes, there's a chance of them being detected and intercepted by screener ships. Reduce their reveal chance, and it's more likely your torpedoes are going to hit those capital ships and inflict massive damage. Battleship organization and so on. I'm not sure how important all that is. Do I want to go for artillery? I can't afford the anti-tank at the moment. Do I want to go for the support companies? I think we are going to focus on getting some sonar. Upgrade that sonar for the naval detection. Sub-detection, sorry. All right, there's the operating base. We can now focus on reclaiming the jewel. So let's go for that. In 70 days, we will be able to attack India. Could really use some reinforcements. We're working on that, but I'm out of the manpower at the moment, so that's a primary bottleneck. Once we get enough political capital, I will change up my conscription law. I'm not sure if you want to hold off on attacking India until I have more reinforcements or not. It kind of is difficult to say. Everything is going to depend on that initial naval invasion and whether or not that's going to work. So let's go to this navy right here. I'm going to group them all up just so I can kind of control everything at the moment. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to split off the submarines. Set up a new task force, all submarines. There we go. So 21 subs are now over here. We could set up a task force template, and let's say this is going to be convoy hunting. And 20 subs are going to be assigned to a convoy hunting task force, right? And what I'll do with the extra sub... How do I split this off? I want to select you. One of you go to a reserve. There we go. So we have 20 subs in our task force, and we've sent one extra sub over to our reserves, which means if one of our subs gets sunk in this task force, the reserve will automatically fill it. 20 subs is pretty manageable from a fuel perspective, and with these guys, we can do our convoy hunting, convoy raiding, in a few different regions. Primarily, subs operate the best in deep water, deep ocean. So there is a terrain map mode now. How do I look at this? Fog of war, blah, 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 blah. I don't see it. Supply areas. I think we have to go here. There you go. Terrain. Okay, here we go. So you can see different terrain in the ocean now. So deep ocean over here, chance to hit naval mine is greatly reduced, but the visibility of submarines is also greatly reduced. So they operate pretty much invisibly out here. Like ships do not operate very well in deep oceans. If we go to, let's say, just regular ocean, it's passive. It doesn't affect anybody. You go to shallow waters, submarines do not work very well here at all. So if we wanted to have some submarines trying to starve out France, for example, we'd want to take this rough area. Get as much bonuses in the deep ocean for our subs as possible, and then in the regular ocean. But we do not want to operate over here close to the coast. If we go over here to the fjords and archipelagos, light ships do really well here, and heavy ships just suffer. They cannot handle the very shallow waters of a fjord. Which is interesting because that probably means that, let's say, in Italy, if we wanted to set up just screener ships here, this would be very defensive. Enemy capital ships would get wrecked. Yeah, I don't know. Terrain is now very important. There's so many things to consider now in the naval game. It is... It is hard. Let's go to the naval theaters, and I'm going to select all of you guys and bring you to one big fleet here. We'll use them for convoy escorts. Let's assign the big Mediterranean fleet together. Sorry, not Mediterranean. North American fleet here in Bermuda. This is the Mediterranean fleet. Let's assign them all together. I just want to have everyone together so I can take better stock of what we're looking at. I may want to consider splitting off some destroyers so we can create a new task force there just for patrolling and looking for subs. That might be a smart thing to do. So if I go here, select ships to transfer. So let's suppose I wanted to select, like, let's say 24 of my destroyers. So we're going to pull off some screening ships, and now these guys are their own task force. And they would be good for hunting down enemy subs. Right? Well, I mean, if I retrofit them. Right now, these are probably a model that are mostly just light guns and such. That is a thing we could do. So for subs, for example, we will want to have convoy rating. How do I deselect this? Shift right-click removes the region. Okay. So here, here, and here was the plan. I'm going to tell you guys to hold for now, but when I want them to go out there, these are the regions they'll go to. And you guys are probably going to do patrol? Yeah. In these approximate areas, just to prevent any subs closer. I don't know. We may actually want to go out here to just directly counter them. But I'll tell you to hold as well. Don't consume all my fuel. We are apparently consuming some. I think just from relocating my navies, though. That's not so bad. Okay, so how are we doing with the Jewel? We have a long way to go. Sorry, I've been waffling on for a while, but again, like, there's a lot to cover. Really complicated. It is still November, so we're a bit ahead of time on 1938 tech. Do I want to go for better torpedoes? Could do that. These are passive bonuses, so they don't affect your production, so I'm not sure I want those. Fire control doesn't seem like important right now. Production things are more important. Depth charge throwers, I mean, maybe. I may want to consider going for, like, fuel refining for extra fuel gain for oil. Because this seems like a pretty good passive benefit, just getting extra fuel in general. If we wanted to really build up our stockpile, we could just import fuel from other people just passively. Before the war, in preparation, build up a really big stockpile. Before things get raided, you know? That's a thing we could do. Let's go over this conscription law, because I do need more manpower. So we can start fielding a lot more troops. At least that will be the idea. We're not gaining a lot in the way of experience. I guess we could spend some fuel and just get more naval experience so I can build out better navies. So let's go ahead and send the destroyers just on some naval exercises. They will get damaged during naval exercises and automatically go back to repair over time. This does not get me an absolute ton of experience from such a small navy. If we did the large one, it would go very quickly. Looks like the United States is going for an interventionist policy. So they've decided to become the world's military force, or police force. That's going to be interesting. So we do not have a sleeping giant this time around waiting for Pearl Harbor. They're going to be actively involved, which is probably bad for me. Synthetic oil experiments is done. Italy is claiming Yugoslavia because they're still going down their normal focus even without Germany's help. We could go for better oil processing for a lot of extra fuel. It is December, so we're a little bit ahead of time. I think I'm going to go for the research speed. It'll add up. Military factories. What do we want? Probably some more light tanks, infantry equipment, and then maybe a bit more motorized to make up for our field hospitals that are not currently being active. Naval dockyards. What do I want? I kind of have to make a commitment now to our naval composition. I think I'm going to go for some extra naval destroyers, anti-subs. Convoy hunting. A little bit more in carriers and anti-air. Let's go for more destroyers. I may actually want to have two different types of destroyers. One for anti-sub and one for some light guns for screening for the carriers. I don't know. I really don't know. I need to see... Where's Riemann's paradox when you need him? You know? That guy did some serious simulations. I guess I could try doing some simulations myself. Romania's attacking Hungary. Interesting. What route are you going down? Currently, you're non-aligned. Coastal Defense Navy. I don't know what you're doing. You're just deciding to attack Hungary all willy-nilly. Well, that's very bold of you. All right. We are not too far off from going for our war with India. Very nervous about this naval invasion. Only having 10 troops deploying is going to be difficult. I'm really going to be depending on doing a quick surround of Calcutta to get that naval base. But we should be able to attack from multiple angles. Crossing a river sucks. But it's better than, say, going here and them sending all their reinforcements to Madras and then I get creamed. I just think that this is going to be a little bit better for me. So we have our navy over here now. I'm going to group you up. So they're all green at the moment, which sucks. But we're going to set you for naval escort in this region. And what they will do is they're going to sit here until there is a navy or a convoy to escort. And it will automatically guard them. And it's going to sit here at the shore and do some bombardment to increase my odds of a successful naval invasion. Let's get a general. Sorry, not a general, an admiral. I don't think... Let's go for you. Andrew Cunningham. I could possibly give you some extra traits. Why am I unable to look at him directly? Like, why can't I select you and adjust you as an admiral? I have to go all the way down here to details. There's no button right here to add in extra traits like there is for generals. That's interesting. Fleet size penalty, visibility, minesweeping. Not really worried about any of this right now, actually. Yeah, let's just not spend the trait until I know what I want to do with it. Okay. I mean, this is as prepared as I'm going to be able to get without extra reinforcements to land. And we can only send 10 at a time regardless, so... I don't know. All right, we're actually starting to build up some manpower again. I'm going to set you just to 1 for now, and I'll reevaluate how many more troops I need later. We should be deploying some troops pretty soon, actually. In fact, as of right now. Go ahead and assign you guys to a new army. Let's change your color to, I don't know, green. Assign a general. Armor. I'd like to use you for your armor officer. Panzer leader experience factor. That's interesting. Promotion, cost reduction, reconnaissance. We'll just put you in charge. And I will send a garrison down here. We'll try using them as some extra reinforcements. I imagine I'll need it against India. We'll claim the jewel in the crown. I guess what we could have done instead of attacking India is go for, say, Pakistan or Burma, so I can have a land invasion, but I want to take out India. So the question is, do I do it now, or do I wait? We'll worry about Imperial conscription later. Let's instead go for the extra military factory so I can start producing more. Yeah, do I go for the naval invasion now? Do I take the risk? Do I roll the dice? I suppose so. Okay. We're going to right-click on you, declare war, annex war goal, and go. All right, launch, and the Navy will automatically move to escort them. We're going to need some air support. Actually, I just realized that we may have trouble reaching up here in eastern India. We may have to have these guys on hold for now. We're not going to get any air support up here. That's unfortunate. Okay. I don't think air superiority is very good anymore, because that means your planes are going to be flying constantly, and it's going to cost a lot of fuel doing that way. Interception when you actually detect something might now be better. Is debatable. Okay, so 9 infantry and a tank. Off they go. See, they had some people defending here. Probably not much. We might have been able to blitz a quick surround, but I don't know. Let's try for it. More troops available. Let's send them to the garrison order. I wish I had a mini-map so I could quickly just move back over here to India. So let's see what kind of resistance we're looking at. So they have someone defending Calcutta, which is sort of what I expected. So it's 1938 now, officially. We could go for the radar. We could also go for the extra infantry defense and breakthrough and so on, which is probably good for me because I don't have much in the way of breakthrough at the moment. We should be able to land successfully over here. So I'm going to move you guys for a quick surround here. And you guys are primarily going to be trying to push against him. I want to make sure he doesn't get a lot of troops in here to defend. Basically. Okay, so we're going to do a quick surround here. We got Calcutta. Okay, so what this means now is we want to send all of our troops over here. And the Navy now doesn't need to do any naval invasion support. They just need to be doing convoy escorts. Let's make sure we are defending our convoys as they are being transported up into India. Okay, let's take you and push up this way. You will push over this way. Try to grab some of the river here. You push this away. Okay, we're going to try to crush some of you. Let's make sure we take both sides of the river here. Now we need an offensive line. We'll start by trying to push down this away. Try to control the river for defense. And then after that, we want to push over to Delhi, I think. There we go. You do not need to have a garrison order anymore. You're going to have an offensive line here as well. And you are primarily going to be focused on... Let's just clear all of... No, I don't need to clear all this out. Or do I? No, I don't. Focus you on going this way. Okay. I guess for the time being, that might work. Naval dockyards are available for more. Let's go for some of the heavy ships, then more subs and destroyers and so on. I guess? I don't know. Okay. So, with our landing here in India, I think we should be able to win this. Have a hard time believing that we won't. Just because India, as a relatively new independent nation, will not have a lot for them. And if we can go fast before they get a lot of entrenchment, so much the better. We're going to go ahead and tell you guys to start pushing now. If you can find some good attacks, go for it. These guys have some entrenchment, so let's try going around them as best we can. More reinforcements are on their way. I'm going to send you up here to go ahead and cut this all off. We'll grab Patna, which we do need for the victory points to win this war anyway. There we go. Now we have a good front line. Okay, so you, I do not want to have an army here. Everybody in blue should be assigned here. Everybody in green should be assigned here, with perhaps an exception right here. I will assign 2 infantry just to defend this pass and make sure nobody comes in from the east, though I don't anticipate that to be much of a problem. Yeah, sure, punch through where they're entrenched. Okay, that sounds smart. Whatever, okay, that's fine. You do not need your front line this wide, though. We'll just go there. Okay. Okay. So far we are good. We should be able to push around this side of the river. If we can grab Patna real quick, that'll certainly be nice. I want to get a river crossing. The Panay incident. American and British gunboats were attacked by Japanese aircraft in separate actions today, while evacuating Western civilians from the front line in the war between Japan and China. Interesting. My opinion of Japan goes down, but I didn't really lose much beyond that. I'm going to go ahead and cross over here if I can. I think we've got the wider front line than he does, and I want to grab as many of these river crossings as I can, just so I don't get penalized later. River crossings can be very, very unforgiving. I mean, heck, if we can even go for, like, Lucknow and stuff, that's even better. But let's hold off at the moment. What are you doing? Sit tight. You can put him down, though. You reinforce. You guys push through this away. Prepared defense. Okay, so we have extra grand battle plan. More breakthrough and soft attack for the armies is certainly going to be quite good. Breakthrough is one of the most important stats in the early game. Or even just in general, frankly. All right, good. You 3 need orders. Assign you down here. Okay. So green should be arriving soon-ish. When they do, we'll be fine. Poland declared war on Latvia. We have an aggressive Poland game, ladies and gentlemen. That doesn't happen too often. All right, let's go ahead and make... See, this is what I'm talking about with the river crossing. Look what they just did. Let's try to push them out. Should be able to do that. Let's see. You guys push here. You push here. Don't let him go anywhere. Keep his morale nice and low. Let's pin these guys down for a minute. You guys push here. There we go. That'll work. And while he has got low defense morale, let's go ahead and attack them. Pin these guys down so they don't reinforce. Good. Okay, you guys can stop attacking now. Should be able to win this. Poland has taken over Latvia. That was very fast. More civilian factories. So we started building here in Labrador. So that's already a thing. We can go for the synthetic finery now just for extra fuel and oil production. I don't mind having at least a little bit. But I think I want to focus mostly on the extra military factories. So let's go ahead and build a bunch of those out. We need a lot of production going on. Okay, so green is still on the way. We don't have anyone defending over here. He could sweep in right now if he wanted to be a problem. So let's edit your front line for a second. No, 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 no. I don't want... It's a front line against freaking Pakistan. No. Here. There we go. So there's the 2 divisions I was talking about. Yeah, if he wants to sweep in, he could do some damage. Currently, he doesn't seem very inclined to do that, and I want to maintain this front line, so I'm not going to worry about it right now, but there we go. All right, you guys sit down. Keep tight. Let him exhaust his morale against me. Let's see. So we have the rivers now, so we can push forward a little bit with impunity. Let's have you guys push here. Let's assist. You guys attack this away. I'm going to have you push along the northern border. You can do... actually, no. Sit tight. Modify governments. What should we do? So we can add in our political advisors now. And I think we're going to go for the extra political power gain just so I can, you know, ramp things up a little bit faster. Okay, I actually do not want you doing this. Bangladesh declared war on Pakistan, which is very odd. Actually, Bangladesh... Wait, you're independent now? Oh, so Pakistan doesn't have them. They're just straight up independent now. Okay, well, I guess we could attack them in the future. Hey, smaller, more independent nations. Very easy. Very easy for me to deal with. Germany lifts the exile of Wilhelm II. All right. Royal Ordnance Factories is done. We could go for the RSA company, which does give me extra infantry equipment production, which is nice. Research motorized general rearmament. So, no further appeasement. Consumer goods reduction. Now, that's nice. That's good. Let's improve our civilian factories. Wilhelm II has returned to the German Empire. No longer a military junta. So, we need to get some more production of what? A little bit more motorized would not be a bad idea. A bit more tank production would not be a bad idea. And then I think we go for fighters. Or maybe we want to go for the carrier naval bombers. I don't know what we need. We just go for general naval bombers, and I'll be able to use those from the coast to attack people if they come too close to me. Maybe? I don't know. Let's push across the river here since there is an opening, and that way I don't have to worry about river crossing penalties. Green is now arriving. Excellent. Yes, sir. Take one of you, go grab this. You can push forward now. Can you reinforce this position? Sure seems that way. Okay, so let's win that. There we go. Okay. Slowly but surely. Wish I had some more tanks for the extra breakthrough. That would be nice. I'm gonna have all of you attack this guy. Push him out of here. Why are you attacking forward? This is not an area that I wanted to fight. I guess green is attacking or something. Why are you attacking? You're reinforcing is what you're doing. All right. Well, we'll redeploy. So green should be getting in position to fight against you. Let's go ahead and push you out a little bit. So he's got no morale because he's completely cut off. So he's overrun. So I'm just going to go ahead and have you guys... I'm going to have you guys just go ahead and clear him out. Let's just do that. It's fun. Go here, and then just focus along the northern front. Grab everything. There we go. All right, so he's going to have nothing over there. Not that he had much to begin with, but maybe I get some extra factories out of it or something. I don't know. A few more troops ready to go. All right. I don't know if they're going to actually get down here in time, but we'll send them down to the front line. Let's see. What else should we be working on right now? So what are we doing in terms of our technology? We're still working on the computing machine. Convoy sailing will be done soon-ish. The extra breakthrough should be finishing up soon. We can actually go for the air support now. I should do that. Kind of forgot. So let's see. This is how many fighters? A bit too many for a 400 airbase. So I'm going to send just the fighters and bombers for now. Let's get the air superiority going and also do some close air support in northern India. There we go. Okay. So hopefully we'll win some more engagements over this way. Looks like we actually might be able to push for a bit of a surround if we do this. Let's have you guys get pinned down. Start pushing toward Lucknow. Looks like it's actually undefended, so that's going to be excellent for us. There we go. Yeah, I mean, hey, if I can get some extra surrounds going, let's just do it. Can I do this? Is he stupid enough to let me? He might be. Wish I had a lot more tanks, though. Sub-detection organization. Well, being that it's 1938, let's go for the extra improved infantry equipment. Looks like he is actually going to be stupid enough to let me get a full surround on these guys. Okay, let's go ahead and just push through. Make sure he doesn't go anywhere. I don't want to get cut off myself, of course, but he has basically no morale regeneration, which means a few extra overruns there, and we are very close to getting to Delhi. And then to Jaipur, and we're clearing all of this out. Okay, so the war against India is basically going to be done. That's not so bad. We have more troops still on the way. I take that back. We need to train more. That's fine. How are we doing in terms of logistics? We are caught up and motorized. Excellent. So we could start in changing up my templates. Make our troops more effective. I like that idea. I think that we will want to consider, after general rearmament, going for motorized company and royal tank regiments. So I can start getting early medium tanks and start producing those in mass. Either that, or we need to start focusing on fomenting rebellion in Canada, Australia, and so on. We'll think about that later. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If so, then I ask you to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time.